right, I've got about 15 minutes before I got to get on a session to record a sales talk with the weekly agency group that I do, Frankie Fim, Beyond Agency Profits on Facebook. If you like this stuff, maybe you should go in there and look for those weekly sales talks. I'm out on Thursdays or Fridays. Well, we're in the spaceship today, so I'll get Kanigan down to Mexico where he is. A few minutes to be on time. All right, what I want to talk about today are the four systems that every single business needs, whether it's a bakery or a bank. Okay, it doesn't matter. They all need these systems, these four systems. The problem with business owners is they start thinking that their business is different. You know, Dan Kennedy, the guy who ran, magnetic marketing, sold all of his stuff to Russell Brunson, been around since the 70s, selling stuff to chiropractors. He used to have the Admiral's Circle and, annual meetups and that. You'd pay a lot of money to go there and network. And he had a sign behind him, and I have a picture of this thing. Really low res, but you can make it out. And so he's sitting there on the table talking to the people in the front of the room, and behind him on this wall is taped a sign, and it says, "But Dan, my business is different." So first thing you got to do is get out of that headspace. Okay, your business is not different. It's not. It needs these four systems. And when you make mistakes and you don't get the results you want, it's because you're ignoring these four systems, and you should be building them instead of doing what I see people doing. Like I see somebody popular puts out a challenge, a 1 week challenge or something like that, right? Do this, follow these things. What I call the school of fish approach happens, the school of fish. And these include people who I would otherwise consider knowledgeable, experienced, competent. They're still members of the school of fish. And they go swimming over to nibble on whatever this guru is putting out, this popular person. And they don't even understand that it's part of the first system for this guru. They don't even understand what's happening. And it's sad. And a lot of them don't like me for talking about this stuff because maybe they feel it's too blunt or whatever. But, if you're not willing to look facts in the face, even in Think and Grow Rich, right? The chapter on looking at things and seeing reality. It's the one, accurate data. Nobody liked it. Nobody likes that one. Well, too bad. My loyalty is not to you. My loyalty is to the truth with capital T's. And if you know me, you should know that. And it's often unpleasant, unwelcome stuff we're not too happy about. But if you want to succeed, you have to swallow it and go, yeah, okay. So when you see the school of fish going over, I'm not saying don't look at it, but understand that you, by downloading that thing, are becoming part of the first system for that guy or gal, that guru, the lead generation system. This is the first thing that every business needs, a lead generation system. It needs unqualified leads. We haven't filtered them yet. They're just people coming towards us. They're doing a good job, these gurus, with these challenges and these contests and stuff, right? They're doing a good job. They are attracting people to them. Now, you maybe, if you're experienced enough, you have learned you don't want everyone as a client or a customer. Many people make lousy clients or customers, and you want to send them away. But first thing is you got to get them in the door somehow. You got to get them to stick up their hand and say, yeah, I'm at least interested in this thing, this area, this topic, right? This subject of study, this area of interest. And that's the beginning of the lead generation system. As you get into complexity in a lead generation system, you will figure out how many leads over a given time period do I actually need. Do I need 10 a month? Do I need 100 a month? Now, I've been doing funnel strategy calls, paid calls, since like 2012, okay? That's like 13 years now of this stuff. And I can tell you, my experience leading these things has been this. Nearly all, not even most, but nearly all business owners that I've encountered to do these sessions with have underestimated the number of leads, of unqualified leads that they need coming in by a factor of 10 to 100 times. So they think they need 10, they need actually 100 or 1,000 to have a chance of hitting the money target that's at the end of all this. How much money do you want to make over that given time period, a month or whatever? Okay, that's scary. That made the hairs in the back of my neck stand up. I feel sad about that because it means these are hardworking people. These are not lazy, stupid people. They are people who are showing up. They've got valuable stuff to share. They want to help. And yet, the number of conversations that they're getting, the number of leads that they're getting every month is 10 to 100 times less than what they actually need. And it's probably the same for you too. Hope you consider that, because it changes your mindset, because you're like, well, where the hell am I going to get that from? And then you start to go hunt for it and find out, like, well, how much is that going to cost? What do I need to really charge to make money on the back end of that? What upsells do I need, right? It forces you to have a better structure for your business. All right. So that's the first system that every business needs, is some way of communicating to the marketplace, hey, I've got this thing. I've got loaves of sourdough bread, or I've got a lead generation system itself, or I've got the ability for you to come into my casino and play poker or something like that, right? And inform members of your target market that you exist and that you are available. That's the first thing, and have them start to come towards you. So, don't get annoyed like me when you see the school of fish going over there, because just take note. That's what it is, right? The lead generation system is doing its job for that person. Good for them. They've got something in place that people want. Now, we know, and in these series of videos, you can go back years and watch me talk about this stuff. We know what a qualified lead looks like, sounds like, right? Is like. They have 3 factors. 1, they acknowledge that they have a problem that you can solve. We could call this need. It could be want, but we call this need. 2nd, they have a size of the problem that warrants your involvement in solving it. Okay? If you're a totally broke person and you have a dog, you ain't buying those nice, chicken and rice looking things that look like almost like human food that you see advertised on YouTube or TV or whatever, right? For your dog, that are going to cost you $8 or whatever a serving, or $6 a serving, or something like that. You're going to be buying Old Yeller, old Roy, whatever. The giant 40-pound bag of, clay looking stuff. It doesn't look that great, right? It's rusty iron kind of looking pellets. Okay. That's budget there. That the first one, the poor broke person and their dog, they don't have the budget. They don't have the size of the problem, right? But if you got a show dog, and that show dog needs to be looking its best, and it's got to have great hair and be healthy and all that stuff, and bark at the right moment and that, then yeah, you're going to want to invest more. You're going to have a size of the problem that is larger to justify investing more in the food for that animal. Okay? That's a little example of the size of the problem, budget. And then the third thing is personality fit. Can we work together? Or do you have beliefs and attitudes and things that would upset me or something, right? And that you kind of figure out as you go along. So the second system for every business that every business needs is qualification, filtering. Those leads are coming in. The school of fish are approaching. Get the seine net out, right? Start filtering. Okay. Do they acknowledge they have the problem that I could solve? Or are they just buying this or getting this to put stuff in their bucket? There's a lot of people walking around grabbing stuff for free and putting it in their bucket. Even low ticket items, putting it in their bucket. I might need this. Okay. It's not your customer. Somebody who doesn't know what they're doing. Okay. They haven't acknowledged that they have a problem. Is it large enough, right? Do they have something more that they're striving for? Are they looking to solve a bigger problem here? And then you can check, personality, or you can even say through repulsive marketing, this is the way that I work. If you're not like this or you don't match this, get out of here, right? So that qualification system, usually through email and videos and things like that, is working for you to filter these unqualified leads come in and they come out, and now there's a separation, right? This is what you should be doing to segment your lists, your email lists. One list is the not so desirables, and the other list are your ideal steaming customers, okay, who have need, budget, and personality fit as your, as far as you can tell. Then your third system that every business needs is some way of helping qualified prospects become buyers. That's called conversion. So, lead generation, qualification, conversion. Okay? We've only got a few minutes left here. So you need some way of helping those qualified prospects become customers, buyers. How are they going to do it? Are they going to jump on a Zoom call with you? And you're ready with the payment processor and the buy button at the end? You're going to take their card information and that? Are you going to send them a Google Doc with a link at the end to buy? A video sales letter? A text sales letter with a buy button at the end, right? So you need some kind of mechanism here, right? You need to make a decision about what media am I going to use, what medium am I going to use to present this information to them, right? Problem, solution. You want to get involved, and they should, you all should already know whether they have the problem or not, right? That's filtered for need in the qualification step. This is just confirmation, but you need to decide, how am I going to do that? And you would be astonished at how many businesses have not made that decision. They're just loosey-goosey. One thing, 1 month, another choice the next month, moving in between. Well, this didn't work. Well, you didn't stick with it and modify it long enough for it to work. You didn't test it. What do you expect, right? And then you need a means of them to be able to pay you, whether that's Stripe or PayPal or ACH or check or whatever, right? It's some means of paying you. That's part of the conversion system, and you need to decide these things. The fourth system that every business needs, and now we're wrapping up, is fulfillment, delivery. I need a way of giving you what you paid for. Is it, I got to jump to this sales talk thing, but is it a video course? That's a fulfillment method, right? I got courses that are on membership sites. I've got courses that are hosted on Thinkific, right? Those are choices I made about how they're going to be delivered. A one-on-one 3-month coaching package with me will be done over Zoom. That's the way we're going to do it. Right? We're going to meet over Zoom. You're going to have your camera on, and if you don't, we're not going to work together because I need that feedback loop. I need to see you. That's fulfillment there. We're going to meet twice a week on Zoom. Okay? That's the fulfillment system. If you focus on getting these 4 systems going, lead generation, qualification, closing, and fulfillment, you will be so much farther ahead of your friends who are just chasing chasing the shiny objects, the school of fish, okay, and becoming part of somebody else's system. I'm not saying don't ever do that. I'm saying be aware, okay, of what's happening and why that's happening. All right. These are the basics. And they're so often missed, misunderstood, ignored, brushed past. Yeah, whatever. Okay. And again, I see these otherwise competent people who I know on Facebook chasing shiny objects. I'm like, what? I want to message them. Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? It doesn't look like it's solving a problem for you, really. It just looks like you're blindly reaching out because it comes from somebody who you think knows what they're doing and maybe it could help you. That's the bucket. Put the stuff in the bucket. I don't recommend that. Okay? All right. You should be able to write down in plain language, in a sentence or two, how you are accomplishing each of these. Okay? Lead generation. I am paying for Facebook ads, having them hop to a opt-in page on a website, and I'm capturing the lead there into my email system. How am I qualifying? I am sending them emails and through the email system, checking whether they're watching videos, clicking on things, participating or not. And if they're not, they get put into a holding pattern, a loop, and resent stuff. And if they are proceeding, then they get sent along. And I can, do decision trees and qualify them along into sublists. Conversion. I send people who have gone through 11 things of content, let's say, pulling these numbers out of the air as an example, to I just wrote a review for a friend of mine named Crystal, who put up a LinkedIn Inferno is what it's called, LinkedIn lead client getting thing. You should get it. Like one of those Kindle books, right? But it's if you get clients off of LinkedIn or want to and have been confused about it, it's a great book with to-do lists, stuff like that. Anyway, conversion. I'm sending them to a sales page with a buy button at the bottom. Okay, fulfillment. They're getting a video course on Thinkific. You should be able to write these things down. And then if they don't work, you pull them out and you change them. Okay, but the key is to have clarity on what you're doing, and most of you don't. I don't a lot of the time. I'm as bad as everybody else, except my loyalty is to the truth. So I have to look, and sometimes I see these things and I'm like, oh, right, I should be concentrating on the 4 systems and not chasing somebody else's shiny object that puts me in their lead generation system. All right. If this was useful, leave a like, leave a comment. This stuff's valuable, I don't get as many views as I think I should, at least by this point. If you think it would be useful, share it with somebody else. I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.